Hello everyone and welcome to Replacement Player Baseball. Today, we're going to see the final game of a 9-game homestand for the Cubs. They have actually pulled even to 4-4 on this homestand. They have taken the first 2 games against the Pirates, looking to get out the brooms and sweep the Pirates, and potentially get within 1 game of first place in the National League Central. The Cubs come into this game at 15-15 and 2 games behind the division-leading Pirates. The Cubs are going to send Chris Archer out to the mound today, owner of a 1-3 record with a 4.50 ERA and 1.44 WHIP. He will be opposed by the Pirates' Joe Musgrove, who is sitting at 3-3 with a 5.70 ERA and a 1.57 WHIP. Let's get this game underway. It is 60 degrees. This is the warmest day we've seen so far this year in Chicago. And the wind is blowing in from right field at 10 mph. Probably going to knock down some of those fly balls out to right today. We have a beautiful afternoon in Chicago for baseball. Archer will face Dyson to lead off the top of the first inning. With a 1-strike count, Pirates are standing in at 17-13 and have a 6-game losing streak right now. Cubs, however, are on a 3-game winning streak. Archer looking in for the sign, and here comes the pitch. And there's a ground ball to first. Rizzo has it, runs to first, and that is the first out in the first inning. Newman now will bat. With a 2-1 count, Archer looks for the sign. Here comes the pitch. There's another ground ball to first. Rizzo has it. This time he throws to Archer. Nearly pulls him off the bag, but the second out is recorded, and Bell will now bat. With 2 outs and nobody on. Bell grounds it to Bryant, who, with the shift, was basically playing at shortstop. But he grabs that ground ball, throws to first, and retires the side. We go now to the bottom of the first inning of a 0-0 game. Musgrove will pitch to Tauchman, who led off yesterday's game with a home run. Here's the first pitch to Tauchman. Ground ball weakly to the left side. Musgrove has it, throws to first, and Tauchman is out by just half of a step. Very close play at first base. However, there's now 1 out, and Fletcher will be the batter with a 2-1 count. Fletcher hits it on the ground to short. The shortstop, for some reason, dove to make that play, and then from his knees made a very poor throw over to first base. Fletcher is safe at first on the error by Newman, the shortstop. Rizzo will now bat with 1 out and a runner on first. 1-strike count. Rizzo hits it hard to center field, but that's going to be right at the center fielder. Hit very well, but Dyson only had to make about 2 steps to make that play. Baez will now bat with Fletcher still on first and 2 out. First pitch to Baez. Here it comes. Baez skies it out to left field. That is going to be an easy play for the left fielder Reynolds, and the Cubs are retired in the bottom of the first. They get 1 base runner on the error, but he does not score. We go to the top of the second in a 0-0 game. Archer will be pitching to Frazier with a full count in the top of the second inning. Here comes the pitch. Ball 4 inside. That was way inside. He was diving out of the way for that one. Reynolds will now bat. Runner on first, nobody out. 2-2 count. Strike 3 called. Archer gets strikeout number 1 of the afternoon, and Hayes will now bat with 1 out and 1 man on. Archer with the pitch. Ground ball to second. Fletcher to Baez to Rizzo, and that is an inning-ending double play for the Cub infield defense. We go now to the bottom of the second of a 0-0 tie. Bryant will lead off for the Cubs. 1-1 pitch. Bryant hits it high in the air to short left field. Reynolds comes in and makes the catch for out number 1. That will bring up Hayward with 1 out and nobody on. First pitch to Hayward. Here it comes. Hayward hits it at the shortstop on a line. That is caught for the 2nd out. Wilson Contreras will now bat. He actually sat out yesterday's game, took the day off. He's batting with 2 outs and a 1-0 count. Contreras pops it up on the left side. The shortstop, Newman, has it. And the Cubs are retired in the bottom of the 2nd. We go now to the top of the 3rd of a 0-0 game. Archer will pitch to Heredia to lead off the top of the 3rd inning. Archer with the pitch. That's going to be a base hit to right field. That'll be the Pirates' first hit of this game. A single to right for Heredia. And Stallings now is the batter with nobody out, runner on first. Full count to Stallings. And Archer loses him on ball 4 inside. Well, that is going to send Heredia down to 2nd. Stallings is on first. The Pirates pitcher Musgrove will now bat, trying to advance his own cause with 2 men on base and nobody out. He lays down the bunt. Bryant has it, throws to first, and the sacrifice is successful. Pirates now have 2nd and 3rd and 1 out, and Jared Dyson the batter. First pitch to Dyson. Ground ball to short. Baez has it, throws to first. The Cubs concede the run. Pirates are ahead 1-0. There is now 2 outs, and Stallings still on second base. Newman will be the batter. 1-2 count. That's a ground ball to first. Rizzo has it, and the Pirates are retired in the top of the 3rd inning, but not before a run scores. The Pirates are now the owners of a newly minted 1-0 lead. Almora now the batter. He will lead off the Cub half of the 3rd inning. 0-1 pitch to Almora. High hit fly ball to left center field. That's going to be playable. It is caught on the warning track right in front of the ivy. Almora gave that one a ride, but it was not quite deep enough, and he ultimately was the first out of the inning. Archer will now bat with a 2-1 count. Archer hits a liner to 2nd. Frazier makes the grab, and Tauschman is now the batter with 2 outs and nobody on. Full count to Tauschman. Here comes the pitch. That'll be a base hit over the shortstop's head into left center field. Tauschman rounds first, but he stays there. And Fletcher will now bat with the tying run standing on first base. 2-2 count to Fletcher. Fletcher hits it on the ground to first. And that'll be an easy out for number 3. Cubs are retired. They strand a runner in the bottom of the 3rd. We go to the top of the 4th. 1-0 Pirates. Josh Bell will be the batter, leading off for the Pirates in the top of the 4th. Full count to Bell. Payoff pitch. Ground ball up the middle. That is under the glove of Baez and out into center field. The Cubs had the shift on, but they still weren't quite in the right position. And Frazier is the batter with nobody out, runner on first. Here comes the pitch to Frazier. That's a liner into center field, but Almora will grab that one for out number 1. That ball was sinking quickly. It looked like it might have hit the ground, but Almora got there in time. And the Pirates now send up Reynolds with 1 out, 1 man on. 2-2 count to Reynolds. Archer gets the signal. Here's the pitch. Popped up to the left side. And Bryant has it for out number 2. Hayes will now bat for the Pirates with 2 outs. Runner still on first. 1-0 count. And he hits a liner into center field. And Almora was running in, and then that ball went over his head. He misjudged that badly. I think that the Cubs are very fortunate that run did not score. I'm not sure why Bell wasn't running harder with 2 outs in that situation. Almora got badly crossed up on that line drive to center field. Hayes is standing on Second, with a very generous double from the official scorer. Bell is on third, and Heredia is going to bat in the top of the fourth inning. One strike count to Heredia. Popped up to right field. Hayward ranges over and makes the catch on the warning track. The wind definitely knocked that one down. Otherwise, the Pirates might have had a couple of extra runs. We go now to the bottom of the fourth inning, still with a 1-0 Pirate lead. Rizzo will lead off for the Cubs with a 2-2 count, bottom of the fourth. Rizzo pops it up. Second baseman goes out. Right fielder comes in. Frazier, the second baseman, makes the catch for out number one. Baez now the batter with one out, nobody on. 1-1 count. Here comes the pitch. Baez on the ground to the counterpart at short, and Newman throws to first for out number two. Bryant will now bat with 2 outs, nobody on. Full count to Bryant. And he takes ball 4 inside. Pitch was up and in. Bryant did not offer at it, and Hayward will now bat with runner on first and 2 outs. 3-1 count to Hayward. Hayward takes ball 4. Musgrove has suddenly walked 2 batters in a row to allow the Cubs to have first and second with 2 outs, and Contreras the batter. 1-2 count to Contreras, and he strikes out swinging on a pitch that was way outside. I don't think that the Grinch could have reached that with his 39.5-foot pole. But anyway, the Cubs are retired in the fourth inning. We go now to the top of the fifth. Stallings the batter against Archer with a 1-0 Pirate lead. 1-1 count. Archer to the plate. Ground ball to short. Baez has it. Throws to first. Out number 1. Musgrove will now bat with 1 out, nobody on. 2-2 count. Archer with the pitch. Strike 3 looking. Musgrove just knew he couldn't do anything with that slider, and he just let it go by for strike 3. That is strikeout number 2 for Archer on the day. Dyson will now bat with 2 outs and nobody on. 1-1 count. Here comes the pitch. Ground ball to first. Rizzo has it. Steps on the bag. And 3 men are retired in the top of the fifth. Going out of the bottom of the fifth inning of a 1-0 Pirate lead. Almora will be the batter against Musgrove. 1-2 count. Almora swings and misses for strike 3 and a fastball. Musgrove records strikeout number 2, and Archer will now be the batter for the Cubs. 2 strike count to Archer. Strike 3 looking. You know, Musgrove probably wanted a little bit of revenge against Archer right there, and he struck him out looking. Tauschman will now bat for the Cubs. 2 outs, nobody on, 2-1 count, bottom of the fifth inning. He hits a ground ball to second. Frazier has it, throws to first, and the Cubs are retired in the bottom of the fifth. We go now to the top of the sixth inning, and the Cubs are still trailing 1-0. Newman will be the leadoff hitter for the Pirates in the top of the sixth. 2-2 count to Newman. Here it comes. Strike 3 swinging. Archer has looked sharp today. He has thrown 68 pitches here with 1 out in the fifth inning. Bell now the batter with an 0-2 count. Archer comes to the plate. Ground ball up the middle. He hits it into the shift. The shortstop Baez on the first base side of second fields the ball, throws to first, and there are 2 Pirates out in the sixth inning. Frazier now the batter with a full count. 2 men out. To the plate. Strike 3 called. Didn't see that one time in yesterday's game. Well, Archer puts the Pirates down in order in the top of the sixth. We go now to the bottom of the sixth inning with the Cubs still trailing 1-0. Fletcher will be the batter for the Cubs. 2-2 count. Here's the pitch. Strike 3 swinging. Fletcher goes down on strikes. That is out number 1. Strikeout number 4 for Musgrove. And Rizzo will now bat with a 2-1 count. Rizzo gets a base hit into right field over the second baseman's head. Rizzo will settle for a single, and Baez will now bat with 1 out, 1 man on. Baez, with the first pitch, he knocks a base hit into left field. Rizzo is not able to advance past second as the throw goes directly to third. Cubs have something going now with 2 consecutive base hits. Bryant, the batter, with 2 men on and only 1 out. Bryant with a 1-2 pitch, and he hits it high in the air to left field. I'm not quite sure. That is going to be foul. That went down the left field line and it hooked down past the foul pole and ended up on the wrong side in the seats. Bryant, man, that one looked good. Bryant is now going to bat with a full count and 1 out. Bryant gets a base hit up the middle. That's going to drive in a run. The runner circles third, heads for home. He slides in safely, and we have a tie game. Rizzo scores on the Bryant base hit. 1-1 game now in the bottom of the 6th inning. Bryant with the 1 out RBI single. Baez still standing on second. Bryant on first, and Hayward is the next batter. 2-1 count to Hayward. Hayward gets a base hit into right field beyond the reach of a diving Frazier. Another runner is going to score. That's going to be an RBI single for Hayward, and the Cubs now have the lead 2-1 with 2-run rally here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Contreras will now bat. The Pirates, I feel like, are experiencing death by 1,000 singles in this game. Contreras with a 2-1 count, and he hits it up the middle. Is that going to drop? No, that is going to be a line drive out to the center fielder, Dyson. Almora will now bat with 2 men on, 2 men out, and a 2-1 count. Here comes the pitch. He hits it weakly to second, Frazier to first, and that retires the side. The Cubs, however, score 2 runs on what I believe was 4 hits in that game, in that inning. And the Cubs have taken the lead 2-1. Archer will now come out to pitch the top of the 7th inning, protecting a 2-1 lead. He has thrown 77 pitches through 6 innings so far in this game. 1-2 count. Archer comes to the plate. And that is a pop-up to center field. Almora comes in, and he puts it away for out number 1. You know, not every play out to center field is an adventure with Almora, but sometimes he makes him look a little more difficult than he needs to. Ke'Bryan Hayes is now going to bat with 1 out and nobody on. Archer comes to the plate. That'll be a ground ball to second. Fletcher has it, throws to Rizzo. 4-3 for out number 2. Heredia will now bat with 2 outs and nobody on. 2-2 count to Heredia. Here comes the pitch. And that's a ground ball weakly back to the pitcher. Archer has it, throws to Rizzo, and the Pirates are retired in the top of the 7th inning. We go now to the bottom of the 7th. Cubs still in charge with a 2-1 lead. And our 7th inning stretch is going to be directed today by former Cub and hero to millions, Joe Maddon. Archer will be allowed to bat for himself to lead off the bottom of the 7th inning. He will stand in against Musgrove, who is still also in this game in the 7th inning. 2-1 count. Here comes the pitch. Hits it on the ground to third. The throw to first is in time, and Archer is retired for out number 1. Tauschman will now bat, and the Pirates do bring in a relief pitcher to face Tauschman. Jeff Hartlieb is the new pitcher for the Pirates. He has thrown 8 innings so far this year, allowed 1 hit, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, and no earned runs. Tauschman will bat with 1 out and a 1-0 count. Hartlieb brings the pitch to the plate. Ground ball to second. Frazier has it, throws to first, and that is out number 2. Fletcher will now bat for the Cubs with 2 outs and nobody on. Hartley with the 1-2 pitch. That is popped up to left. Reynolds drifts back a few steps and puts it away for out number 3. The Cubs now go to the top of the 8th inning with a 2-1 lead. Archer, with 87 pitches, is coming out to begin the 8th inning. He is going to face Stallings, the pitcher's spot, and Dyson in the Pirates' half of the 8th. 3-1 count to Stallings. Archer with the pitch. Popped up to center field. Almora is coming in, and he makes the catch for out number 1. Archer still bringing 97-mile-an-hour heat here in the 8th inning. The Pirates are going to pick up a pinch hitter, lefty Kevin Kramer, to face Chris Archer with 1 out in the top of the 8th inning. 2-2 count. Archer with the pitch. Strike 3 swinging. Archer has 2 outs now in the top of the 8th, and Jared Dyson is the batter. 1-1 count. Oh, and we're going to bring in lefty Zach Britton. He's going to make his first appearance for the Cubs. And Britton allows a single to Dyson out into right field. Britton was brought in a trade a couple days ago, and he is the Cubs' lefty setup man now. He will face the Pirates' Kevin Newman with 2 outs and a runner on first. 2-1 count to Newman. And that is popped up on the infield. It looks like Contreras calls for it, and he makes the play for out number 3. Well, the Pirates do not score in the top of the 8th. We go now to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Cubs lead 2-1. Cubs will be sending Rizzo up to lead off against the new Pirate reliever Tyler Webb in the bottom of the 8th inning. Rizzo, Baez, and Bryant will be the Cub batters here in the bottom of the 8th. 1-1 count. Webb comes through the plate, and that is going to be a hit right up the middle, a ground ball out. As the shift was on, the shortstop was playing directly behind second base. He ran up and got that ground ball, threw to first, and retired Rizzo. Baez will now bat with an 0-2 count. 1 out. And Baez watches strike 3 go by on the outside part of the plate. Bryant will now bat with 2 outs and nobody on. 2-0 count to Bryant. Here comes the pitch. Bryant hits it over the third baseman's head into left field. That'll be a single for Bryant. He gets a 2-out base hit. And Hayward will now bat with a runner on first, and the Cubs trying to extend this 2-1 lead. 0-2 count to Hayward. The ball gets away. That was that was ball 1. Bryant heads down to second. Hayward has a 1-2 count. Here comes the pitch. Hayward pops it up to center field. That should be out number 3. Dyson comes in, makes the catch, and the inning is over. We go now to the top of the 9th inning. Cubs still hanging on to this 2-1 lead. And Craig Kimbrell is going to be the Cub reliever of record in the top of the 9th inning. He is going to try to nail down save number 8. He did allow the tying run to score in the 9th inning of the first game of this series. Let's see if he's a little more effective here. He's going to face Bell, Frazier, and Reynolds in the top of the 9th. 2-2 count to Bell. Kimbrell looks in. Gets the sign. Here's the pitch. Strike 3 swinging. Strikeout number 1 for Kimbrell. 1 out. Pirates send Frazier up now with nobody on. 1-0 count. And Frazier gets a base hit down into the left field corner. Santana recovers quickly, gets the ball back into the infield. Or Tauschman, Tauschman is playing left today. He recovers quickly, gets the ball back in, holds Frazier to a single. The tying run is now on first base, and Reynolds is now the batter against Kimbrell. 2-2 count. Kimbrel with the pitch. Strike 3 swinging. He got him with the high heat. 97 miles an hour. Polanco will now bat. With 2 outs. Tying run still on first base for the Pirates. 2-2 count. Kimbrel with the pitch. Strike 3 swinging. 96. And the Cubs pull out the brooms, and they have just swept the Pirates with a 2-1 victory in the final game of this homestand. The Cubs score 2 runs on 6 hits with no errors. The Pirates 1 run on 5 hits with 1 error. We look at our player of the game today. It is Cubs starter Chris Archer. He threw 7 2/3 with 3 hits, 1 run earned, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Kimbrel records save number 8 of the season. He allows a hit but records 3 strikeouts in the 9th inning to nail down that save. And the difference in this game was absolutely the Hayward run-scoring single in the 6th inning, which gave the Cubs the lead they maintained for the rest of the game. Well, the Cubs improved to 16-15. Pirates dropped to 17-14. And make sure and check in again tomorrow for another episode of Replacement Player Baseball.